Well, this week you're moving toward the conclusion of part one of the course, in which we covered these subjects you can see at the bottom of the screen. So I'd like to do a quick review of the first half of the course, so to speak, even though we're not yet toward midterm. Your first goal in Yellow Dig was to give your initial definition of the term global business communication. And I grabbed a couple of quotes here from your Yellow Dig conversations, where one individual said technology is critical, and yes, how can we deny that? We don't travel anymore as often because of technology allowing video and audio conferencing. Here's the key for the course is business customs of the countries that you're working with or will actually travel to, or ultimately perhaps become an expatriate resident. Basically, it's to understand their culture. And to understand their culture, you both have to lean into it. He leans into her, she leans into him, and they reach a common understanding between them. First topic was intercultural sensitivity. And I've grabbed some ideas from your Yellow Digs. Verbal and nonverbal interaction. I keep thinking of working in Latin America where the business contact would step toward me and I'd step away because of the closeness of that culture. I like this one. Somebody could down the road be culturally different. Yes, there's a huge cultural difference between urban America, Hayes America. I'm sorry, urban America, Wichita, and rural America, Hayes, Kansas. This isn't a good one, social groups, because even within urban areas, we have our own social groups. In rural areas, we have our own social groups, and therefore we have our own social rules. This was a good one. The bottom of the iceberg. Well, why is it important? Because you don't necessarily know the values, beliefs, and thoughts of the culture or of the individual you were just meeting for the first time. And therein, in my humble opinion, is the great challenge as we go forward. So how is this approached? Businesses do corporate training in Shell. That's one of the tasks I did in my career. You may face short-term trips or an expat assignment. And in which case, if the company does not give you the training, it's really up to you to figure things out for yourself. For example, when I was a kid going to go to Thailand for the first time, I took a bunch of courses that I thought would help me. I read a bunch of stuff, and that's before the age of the internet. I want to share my example of high esteem for Thai culture. I've been associated with Thai culture since I was a junior in university. I lived there for 7 years. I go back every 2 years. I'm sorry, I go back twice for the last 2 or 3 years. So here's my buddy, and I'm reading with her daughter, with my buddy's daughter, and I'm reading with her. And here we are on the Burmese border, sharing a meal with a Burmese policeman and a Thai policeman, Danny. His name is Danny. So I thought, well, what is Thainess? Well, definitely it is Buddhism, so religion permeates culture. The king, of course, rules the country. The nation, which, by the way, this is a close friend of mine, and he's in the police, and I thought it was hilarious how hard he looks on this police poster. Then we looked at the ladder of inference and mental models. And here is the key. Whose facts are they? Are they your facts? And are they correct? That's the key factor. I like this one. I couldn't figure out a better way to do it. In today's world, each politician has different facts looking at the same information. And what's happening is we all wear our sunglasses that filter things in and filter things out. Often we will take in only what we want to take in. We looked at the DMIS model and moving toward the ultimate to accept. You can accept a culture anytime, any place. You can adapt anytime, any place. But to integrate into that culture, you actually have to live there. So I thought about my trips to Uruguay and having dinner at 10 p.m., which was a struggle. Or Paraguay, where we all cut off work and had lunch, had a siesta, and went back to work late afternoon to 7 p.m. Or working for Shell when I had a Dutch business meeting at lunch and my friend and I were trying to discuss business. And then we remembered the Dutch do not talk business while they eat. This is a screenshot from the video for the course on mental models. Take a look. We all make assumptions every day, all day. We looked at the cultural competence continuum, and it is related to the previous model that we looked at. And the deal here is, I don't think this applies to us. I think that applies to nations that had colonies. I think we can all be blind to different cultural differences. And like our friend from Alabama said, he's always open to new ideas. Okay, here are some quotes from your yellow dig. Let's take a look at them first. Every interaction we have is with someone from a different culture. I don't think that's true in Hayes America. I think that might be true in New York City or Los Angeles or Istanbul or wherever I've been. But we cannot afford to live without it. Think about today's trade war with China. They're operating off different cultural assumptions. They're looking at different facts. It's a good example. We cannot afford to live without understanding the other side. And as our friend from Alabama said, we all wear our sunglasses and think everybody from Alabama is an arch conservative. But our friend in the class says, no, he's a liberal. Well, there breaks tradition, breaks assumptions. This is a good one. And I actually remembered it, and I Googled and found what I thought was an interesting one. We all know that Muslims do not eat pork. And we all know that Ramadan is their fasting season. So here was a store ad in a British grocery store selling beef like pretzels or the potato chips in Ramadan. And by the way, it was located right next to an Islamic mosque, excuse me. So I hope this has piqued your memory about the first half of this course. Thank you.